dimensions of our educational influence. I want to be clear about what I'm meaning by these values that we use to give meaning and purpose to our lives. I'm thinking of these as what I call ontological values, and by this I mean that they are intimately related to our theory of being, who we are, why we're doing what we're doing, and our understanding of ourselves. So when I say, well, why are you doing what you are doing? What is it that concerns you? What matters most to you? These are the kind of questions that I ask in my supervision. And what I'm trying to do is to gain an understanding of what it is that is actually motivating the practitioner researcher to do what they do. I'm interested in the values in the sense that these are the qualities that often create a tension in a person because they're not being lived as fully as the person believes that they can be. And this often creates this tension or concern that the individual wants to improve what it is they're doing. Hence the questions that really interest me. How do I improve what I'm doing? That seems to me to be a fundamental question that all the people that I've been supervising actually ask themselves. They want to make things better. They also want to research that process because they actually want to generate knowledge and share it with others so that it can be of some further use outside the context in which the individual is working. Now, when I talk about values, I'm also associating the expression of values with flows of energy. And these flows of energy are often omitted from ideas that are expressed on pages of text. And I'm thinking here of pages of printed text. That if you look at a page of text, it's actually difficult to see the expression of the values and the energy that people are bringing into what it is they're doing, and which actually sustains them, often over years of inquiry, to continue to try to improve their practice. And this explains my interest in multimedia narratives, because even as you're watching this tape, I'm hoping that you're feeling that I'm expressing some of the energy with the values that are motivating me to continue to provide support for practitioners who wish to make public their own living educational theories. It's because I believe that by spreading the influence of values that carry hope for the future of humanity, the world becomes a better place to be, and this is a worthwhile form of life that you can engage in to try to make your own contribution to the world in which we live and work. In clarifying the meanings of our values and their flows of energy, I often advocate the use of the action-reflection cycles in which individuals express a concern because they want to improve something, because their values are not being lived as fully as they believe they can be. And with this tension, our imaginations often start to work outside our conscious control. Our imaginations start to create possibilities which we think will help to improve our practice. And we can actually, with conscious control and conscious intent, choose one of these possibilities to act on. And as we're acting, we can gather data which will enable us to make a judgment about whether our actions are effective in helping us to live our values more fully. And once we've actually acted, gathered data, we can actually produce an evaluation of our practice in relation to our values and understandings. And we can actually share this with others in an account that we can actually ask other people to help us to strengthen the validity of our account through subjecting it to various kinds of questions. And in another section of this page, I'll go into more detail about the validation processes that we can go through to strengthen the validity of our own accounts and the accounts of our students. So in terms of this section on values, I do hope you can see why I do stress the importance of making explicit and clarifying the meanings of the values that we use, not only to give meaning and purpose to our lives, but also to provide the practical principles that we use to explain why we are doing what we're doing, and also to explain the influences that we're having.